Do you get
criticism comes. Yeah, people.
You face criticism at that?
Criticize people.
What is the worst criticism that you faced when you got into this very active, again I will say political sphere, you will say public sphere? What is the worst criticism that you faced? Something that perhaps hurt you?
No, I don't think any particular criticism did hurt me per se. But people without even knowing you, if someone knows you and criticizes you, it's a different issue. Yeah, you can accept it. Someone who doesn't even know you, they criticize, and I don't attach much value to that.
Shishi, this is a question that you have been asked before. I wanted to ask you this as well. A fast as a method of protest is itself a controversial issue. And it is generally felt that a fast should be done for greater personal and spiritual enlightenment. I know you've been asked this before, but I want you to give me a more detailed answer today. Many people felt that fasts were being used for political blackmail, not for spiritual enlightenment, and hence the tool of the fast was perhaps being misused. Why did you, as a spiritually enlightened person, not speak out against it at that time?
I have always been saying fasting is not the solution. It could act as a pressure tactic for a short while, but not forever. I said we must protest, but protest without fast. I was for it. In fact, I was persuading Annaji to give up fast, but continue his agitation whenever he wanted to do that. I was the one who I always
Tell me about that. When did that happen? You remember the meeting when you told him this?
Every time I met with him, I said, please don't fast, because it's taking a big toll on his own life. Sometimes people call me the breakfast guru. So I go and break the fast of the people with Ramdev ji, and I said, fasting is not, it's not the language today that people would understand. In British time there was certain sensitivity, but today people say, if you are fasting, okay, you fast, we'll do our thing. No, creating mass awareness about an issue and getting people committed to work, committed for anti-corruption movement is more important.
On the other hand, there was a feeling that without that fast, you see, Shishi, there was a level of brinkmanship. Anna staring at the government and the government staring back. That brinkmanship brought the Lokpal issue to the fore. That brinkmanship, along with this clear support that came from spiritual leaders like you, that brinkmanship actually, without that, there would have been no focus on the issue.
See, it happened even before in the Jantar Mantar issue. That is when the whole Lokpal bill was being even discussed, when people from both sides came together and formed a committee. But it took a climax in the August movement, when so many people joined about it. But then again and again, every 3 months, 6 months, if we start doing the fast again, it loses its, the weightage. And that's what has happened later on.
Why didn't you tell them to stop?
No, I have been telling.
Why didn't they listen to you?
That you have to ask them.
Are you happy with Anna joining, Arvind Kejriwal joining politics?
Here in this country, everybody has their free choice to do.
What is your view?
If he wants to start a political party, he has done it and it's okay.
Do you think the halo somewhere, the moral halo subsides the moment you get directly involved in politics?
For a spiritual leader, yes. Like a journalist, a spiritual leader should be very neutral. In the sense, if a journalist or a spiritual leader says, okay, you go and vote this person, this party, then you are somewhere taking away the free choice of the people. That's how one should not do it. You should only put the facts in front of them and allow people to have their own choice. Voting is making a choice. Same with the high commands in any bill that comes to Parliament. When high command gives a whip, you are undermining the intelligence or the thinking ability of the individuals. You are really making them like goats and sheep. that okay, I give the command, all of you walk this way. You know, each member of parliament is selected by the population, and they should see what is good for their constituency, what is the voice of their population, not the voice of the High Command.
That's a wonderful way of saying that what Arvind Kejriwal did was not appropriate. That is essentially what you are saying.
No, I am talking about the High Command whip that happens in the Parliament. You see that the whip in High Command some way takes away the free choice of voting for individual members of the Parliament. So some bill comes, women's bill, and say, okay.
Are you talking about all parties or one party?
All parties, all parties.
Shashi, can I be more direct with you?
Yeah. Of course, this is a direct talk, you know.
Are you anti-Congress?
Not at all.
Are you pro-BJP?
Not at all. Not at all. As of now, not. But I can't tell you what I will be in the coming future, the near future. But as of now, I am, as I said, I am non-partisan.
Were you aware when you were giving a speech, I'll share one moment with you, that in the middle of this whole agitation, you had flown down to Bangalore, and I forget the exact location where this speech was made by you, where everyone was assembled from the India Against Corruption movement. Were you aware when you were making the speech that all political parties, including the Congress and the BJP, were watching very closely to see which way you leaned?
I mean, that is their job. It's none of my business to say who is watching me, who is not watching me. They are most welcome to watch. I have nothing to hide. I have always been clear. When I take a step, I think twice and then I take my step. So there are people in Congress who are practicing art of living. That I don't want to polarize all good people into one party. We need a healthy opposition and a healthy ruling party. And our job is to create a healthy and happy society, a sane mindset and a prejudice-free intellect. And I'm on my job doing this.
So, if I can come back to where I started, I said that my view was that you've withdrawn yourself a little bit from the political sphere. Let's call it the public sphere. Is it likely, Shishi, that you may play a more active role again in the future?
No, I will continue to play the role of a reformer. I will continue to inspire people to vote 100% when election comes. I will continue to ask people to remain, stay away from drugs and alcohol and female feticide, and encourage people to volunteer for a better India. This I'll continue to do.
But you won't endorse any party?
No, I mean it's not fair to endorse a party, you know, because that's what I was saying. A religious leader endorsing a party means you are taking away the free choice of the individual. You only give them the facts. Look, vote for a good candidate. This, of course, I'm going to say. Vote for the honest one, not one with the criminal record.